I've been there standing in the kitchen with a cheap countertop microwave that looks like it'll do the job, only to discover half the time the food ends up unevenly heated, the door jams, or the unit just takes up precious counter space that you needed for prep. It's a tiny regret that sticks around every time you try to reheat a slice of pizza or melt butter for a sauce. So when I started looking into a microwave drawer, I asked myself, is this just another gimmick that will sit in the cabinet and never get used? Or does it actually solve those everyday annoyances? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The answer isn't a simple yes or no, but the THOR Kitchen Professional 24-inch microwave drawer does feel like a smarter buy for a specific group of cooks, and it's worth understanding the trade-offs before you spend your hard-earned money. First off, let's talk about the problem a drawer microwave is trying to solve. Traditional microwaves sit on the counter or are built into an over-the-range cavity, which means you're constantly leaning over a hot door, trying to avoid spilling soup onto the countertop, and you're also sacrificing valuable work surface. In a busy kitchen, whether it's a small apartment or a professional setting, those inches count. A drawer design pulls the appliance down into the cabinet, so you open it with a gentle push, slide the plate in, and close it without ever lifting a heavy door. That alone changes the ergonomics of reheating, defrosting, or even doing a quick bake. If you've ever had a child's snack spill onto the countertop because the microwave door swung open, you'll immediately sense the value of that low-profile, pull-out action. The THOR unit is 24 inches wide, which means it fits standard base cabinets in most modern kitchens. The 1.2 cubic foot interior is generous enough for a family-sized plate, a casserole dish, or a couple of small baking trays. In real life, I tested it by cooking a frozen lasagna, reheating a batch of soup, and even trying to crisp up a couple of frozen pizza rolls. The drawer opened with a soft, touch-activated push, no need to yank a handle, and closed just as smoothly. The auto-touch open/close control felt solid. The mechanism didn't give a metallic clank that you sometimes hear with lower-priced drawer units. For anyone who frequently moves the microwave in and out of the cabinet, that durability is a practical win. Now, let's get into the features that actually matter on a day-to-day basis. THOR advertises 12 sensor functions and 10 power modes, which on paper sounds like a lot of tech for a microwave. In practice, the sensor functions cover the basics: defrost, popcorn, beverage, reheat, and a few preset cooking options for common foods. The power modes let you dial in lower wattage for delicate items, like melting chocolate, or crank it up for quick boil-outs. I used the reheat sensor for a leftover bowl of stew, and the beverage setting for a mug of coffee, and both came out at the right temperature without me having to guess the time. The sensor isn't a miracle. You still need to keep an eye on things, but it does reduce the trial and error that many people hate about microwaves. The real differentiator for me was the drawer's placement. Because it slides into the cabinet, there's no need to clear a countertop for a bulky appliance. In a tight studio kitchen, I was able to keep the prep area clear for chopping vegetables, and the microwave drawer was essentially invisible until I needed it. That's a genuine space-saving advantage that you can't get from a countertop unit, and it also keeps the kitchen looking cleaner. For people who love a minimalist aesthetic, the drawer design blends in nicely with the cabinetry. However, it's not all upside. The first thing you'll notice is the price tag. Drawer microwaves sit in a higher price bracket than most countertop models, and the THOR is no exception. If you're on a tight budget and you already have a reliable countertop microwave that works fine, the extra cost may not justify the ergonomic upgrade. You also have to consider installation. While the unit is designed to sit in a standard 24-inch cabinet, you'll need to cut an opening for the drawer and possibly reinforce the cabinet to handle the weight. Many reviewers mention needing a professional to do the installation, which adds labor costs and a bit of hassle. If you're not comfortable with a small remodel, this could be a deal-breaker. Another practical limitation is the capacity relative to a full-size countertop microwave. The 1.2 cu.ft. interior is respectable for a drawer, but you won't be able to fit a large roasting pan or a big family-sized casserole dish that you might slide into a 1.5 cu.ft. countertop model. In my kitchen, I had to split a big tray of baked potatoes into 2 loads, which added a few extra minutes to the cooking time. If you often cook bulk meals or need that extra space for big dishes, you might find the